And we are live, ladies, gents, boys, girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the countdown. Brought to you by Show Watch Shows. Brought to you by the Pierce Show. Brought to you by me, Joey JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens. Brought to you by Rita Owens. Brought to you by another Rita Owens, and brought to you by our Lord and Savior. I don't know. What am I saying anymore? I lost track. So we do a top 10 countdown, and I'm joined here this week by Jacob Barber.
I'm here again. Yes, we did Robin Williams, which was fun, and apparently you liked doing a countdown with me so much that you brought me back.
Or you asked, and I was like,
you asked,
sure.
I was like, nah, never mind.
So far, you are the host. We might change host. Maybe it'll be Jacob. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but I am happy to be here talking about movies.
Yes, we are going to talk about the top 10 movies of the year 2022 so far, because we're only halfway there. Living on a prayer, as you would say, of course, in Trivia Land. I definitely have some gaps, so it's going to be an interesting list here for myself personally. I definitely feel like my list will look different at the end of the year. And that's not even saying for the things that aren't even out. That's saying for some of the things that are out that I just unfortunately didn't have time to see yet. So it'll be interesting to see where we land here on our top 10. Jacob, if you like, kick us off. Of course, if you have some honorable mentions, go through them, rapid pace, and then get to your number 10.
I do, yeah. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I have only seen 25 new releases. So,
Slacker, I'm at 41.
Yeah, I'm hoping to boost those numbers fairly quickly. So,
my goal every year is 100, and usually I've gone to that every year, and I'm at 41 now, so I don't see why not.
Well, I was at 32 last year, so I'm just hoping to beat that. So if I watch one movie a month for the rest of the year, I'm almost good.
That's one of my favorite things about you, Jacob. Your goals here on this channel, they're very, I only want 6 out of 20. I only want a little bit more than 32. You don't go too high.
No, my goals are here, and I'm usually right here as well. Maybe here. So, but yeah, honorable mentions. And before people say, "Oh my goodness, where's Top Gun Maverick? That movie's fantastic." Haven't seen it. Okay.
I'll go ahead and throw that caveat out as well. I kind of look forward to it. I actually just saw the first one recently. Thought it was fine, but I've heard a lot of good things about the second one, so I will see it. But yeah, it's something I didn't jump right to, and it's not on my list either. So both of us will get some slack for that.
Yeah. So, all right, honorable mentions 15 to 11. I have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I have Jackass Forever. I have Morbius. I actually really enjoyed Morbius. Uncharted. If you don't think of it as an Uncharted movie, but as more of an action movie, I think you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And Turning Red is my final honorable mention. To kick off the top 10, my number 10 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Benedict Cumberbatch coming back as the titular Doctor Strange, joined by Wanda, played by Elizabeth Olsen, who I think absolutely kills it in this movie. I think she is the best part of this movie. I like seeing all the different versions of Doctor Strange, all the different versions of Wanda. I thought it was fantastic. I thought they handled the multiverse pretty well. All the cameos. Spoilers. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, I'll give you some time to cut your ears and do the la 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 thing. But John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Charles Xavier played by what's his name? Oh my goodness, why am I? Sir? What?
Yeah, I'm not helping you. You got to figure this out.
Yeah, wow, that is the biggest brain fart that I have ever had, Sir Patrick Stewart. Wow. I hate myself officially. But
next champion, next level, next champion, next episode. List all the Patrick Stewart movies.
Jeez. But yeah, no, I thought this was great. I thought Wanda was a fantastic villain. I thought the horror elements, because directed by Sam Raimi, and I feel like he really put his stamp on this movie as a Sam Raimi movie. I think he leaned into the horror elements really well, and I thought it balanced it out nicely with the with the comedy. There's some comedy with the superhero theme. Didn't follow quite the MCU formula that we've seen in the past, but I think it was a welcome addition to the MCU and one that I look forward to revisiting in the future. I think it'll be a fun rewatch. Well, not necessarily fun, but there's fun aspects to it. But it's going to be a nice rewatch, because MCU marathons seem to happen quite often, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this one. Right now, it's at number 10.
Very nice, very nice, Doctor Strange. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later here. So going to my top here, my honorable mentions. Like I said, again, I'm right at 41 right now. Honorable mentions is The Bad Guys, enjoyable cartoon. Spiderhead, I should just finish that recently. I Want You Back, or on Prime. I also agree with Turning Red is kind of right outside of the bubble for me. And then On the Count of Three, kind of a depressing but fun. I don't want to say fun, but interesting flick there.
Hmm.
My number 11 coming into my number 10 now is technically a sequel as well. I'm gonna always butcher his name. Kenneth, not Kenneth Branagh, but I'm gonna butcher his character name, Hercule Poirot,
Mm.
and Death on the Nile. I actually have at my number 10 here, so I've enjoyed both films from Branagh so far. Here, he gets pretty good eclectic cast here. You can see Russell Brand is pretty good. Gal Gadot is, of course, the unfortunate I believe they say in the trailer she's the one they figure out who killed her. Um, Army name redacted pops up, of course. If you watch the first trailer and the last trailer, he's mysteriously edited out of the last trailer a lot, but he's very much in this, so definitely know that walking into it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I like these. I like these who done it's with big casts, and you're definitely pointing fingers and oh maybe it is, maybe it's him. I just think it's relatively well done. I had fun with it, and I don't know if it warranted enough for a third as far as money wise, but I would be there if they got to another one here. I think Brennan's pretty good. I enjoyed the opening sequence as well. Learn a little bit about the character, and yeah, I had fun with this one.
Wow, this is on my watch list. Now I will ask you, because I'm assuming, as you've seen both Murder on the Orient Express and this one you said.
Mhm.
Do you need to have seen the first one to understand this one? Like understand Kenneth Branagh's character, or does this stand? Is this a good standalone?
Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things like maybe there's a little bit of nuance that you might lose as far as not knowing the character at all, but no, this is very much a separate, completely separate tale. Other than him, I don't believe there's any returning cast. It's a whole new whodunit. So yeah, no, you could go cold in this if you haven't seen the first one. I wouldn't necessarily say you're stuck to it. But yeah, I think if you like this one, definitely go back for the other one. You could even go backwards if you really wanted to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's on my watch list. So
Shut
I
up,
need to.
Diaz. I didn't say it was great. It's my number 10.
Yeah. A movie I thought was great, despite it only being at number 9, was the Disney Plus original Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Um, I just thought this was a fun time. John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as Chip and Dale, I think, was a great voice casting. Even though you could clearly tell that it was them, like it was just fun hearing them play these chipmunks. Um, Kind of a not a reboot, not a remake, not a but just a kind of a different take on these characters, like as if they were portraying, you know, actors on a show. Like this is them, and the characters we see in Chip and Dale uh, are just characters they're playing on screen. I love the blend of animation, live action. I don't think we've seen it this well since Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think this is the best since then. I loved all the cameos. I loved just the different things you can catch on rewatches, because I think there's so much packed into this movie, so much nostalgia, just so much fun moments. I kind of get the criticism with the villain with Peter Pan, and kind of the parallels to the actor's life, but um, with that, taken out. Like I thought it was a great, mystery movie, fun nostalgia, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was a lot better than people had anticipated, and it was a pleasant surprise. And I could see this being very rewatchable. I could see myself going back to this a lot. So, number 9.
Mm-hmm. No, but good choice there. Good choice there. My number
Oh yeah,
9.
Ugly Sonic. Yeah, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. Ugly Sonic shows up, and I didn't know I needed Ugly Sonic back in my life, but I'm glad he's there, and I'm glad like he actually, contributed to the plot. He wasn't just a cameo thrown in, but like he ended up meaning something, and I thought that was really cool.
He is the surprise co-star of the year that, like you said, we didn't know we wanted, but now we're so glad we have him in our lives. The return of Ugly Sonic. Yes. I'll talk maybe a little bit more. Again, I might talk a little bit more about that later. My number 9 here, it's a directorial debut, technically, of someone we know very well. Channing Tatum's dog. I'm going to have at my number 9 here. Yeah, as much as I think cats rule, I'm always, and I don't like sports. I will definitely say I do love a good movie, whether it's a good movie about anything, sports or dogs. And I think the humor's here. There's some good laughs, some good chuckles along the way, and then the heart's there as well. You're definitely kind of invested in this character at the end. You're kind of rooting for him to do the right thing. Um, Fun road trip movie. He comes across Kevin Nash and Jane Addams as a couple at one point. They're a really fun couple. That's a little fun segue here. And yeah, I thought it worked well. I thought it was shot well as well. He co-directed it with somebody else, so hard to know who did the heavy lifting here. But yeah, I thought this was a well-made movie that tugged my heartstrings more than I necessarily thought it would. So number 9 for me is Dog, my dog.
Yeah, this one's high up on my watch list too. I have the Blu-ray, just haven't put it in the Blu-ray player yet, but I will get to it. And who knows? I enjoy Channing Tatum as an actor. I think he's really good, and definitely can carry a movie. And this one looks like it's a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know if it had anything to do with the writing, but it's a good vehicle for him too, because it's that right balance of he's got his own kind of past as well, but he has the moments to be charming, to be dramatic. It's a really nice it's a nice leading performance for him as well.
Yeah, sounds like he's having a solid year, because I also enjoyed the Lost City. I think he was pretty good in that.
Nope, did I lose you?
With what'd you say? Okay.
Okay, now I'm back. All right,
Okay.
what you got?
That's what happens when we're live, folks. My number 8 is actually a franchise that from a franchise that I came to pretty recently. And when I say pretty recently, I mean last year. I watched the first 2 in this franchise. Recently finished the franchise for a podcast about movies where Austin and I talked about the Scream franchise. And my number 8 is Scream 2022. I thought this was a great continuation of the series. I think this series can run into the problem of being predictable and just recreating storylines from the past. But I think this one did it extremely well. I think the surprises were there. I think the choice to not have somebody die in the beginning of the movie was a really smart choice, because usually they go that route of somebody died in the beginning, and now we're gonna see the connections to that person, and we're gonna see who the killer is. And yeah, and I thought the scares were there. I loved all the characters and their connections to the previous films, because it means that Randy still lives on, and justice for Randy. I thought all the performances in this were great. The 3 characters coming back, and spoilers. Dewey finally eats it. I think it's teased in every movie, and it finally happened here, and you really feel that emotion. Even just somebody who
You are spoiler heavy on this episode, my friend.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie that's been out for 4 months. it's on you if you can't talk about top 10 movies and not talk about some plot points. But I feel like most of the people that are going to watch this have also seen the movies. So, but yeah, no, that's finally it meant something, and you felt that emotion. Even as somebody who was very late to the franchise, and I don't have that long relationship with these characters. I haven't seen the 1996 movie until 2021, but I felt the connection to these characters, and it was an emotional moment. The killers were a definite surprise, but all the cliches were there, but they work in a movie like this. So I think it was an excellent addition to the franchise, and if this is where it stops, I'm happy. If they keep going, I'm also happy. Because I know like there's
they're very
reports that
much shooting the next one already.
yeah, but I mean Nev Campbell doesn't want to come back. Do they continue without her? I don't know. Movies have been scrapped before, but no, I mean like I said, if it's scrapped because of issues with Nev Campbell and she can't come back, or if they continue to do it without her, like I'm on board either way.
I'm on board, but again, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I believe on your honorables will be coming in at my number 8 right now, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Not ugly Sonic, I guess you could say. Uh, yeah, again, this was a pleasant surprise the first time around. Not a huge expectations. I enjoyed Sonic a lot as a kid, as far as a video game, but I wasn't necessarily attached to the character itself. And video game movies, obviously, I think you and everyone knows the quality that comes out, but they had the humor, they had enough heart, wasn't shoehorned in too, which I kind of liked. And then Jim Carrey is just freaking great in these. I mean, in a weird way, if this is the final Jim Carrey performance, like, kind of don't hate it as far as like he's having a lot of fun here, man. He's definitely a big part of what works here. I enjoyed the introduction of Idris Elba as Knuckles. I think there's a lot of humor from him, kind of learning the ways, almost Drax like, just kind of ignorant of the ways that he takes and whatnot. And even the kind of segue moments of James Marsden and the wedding, you could maybe cut that out if you had to, but like they're kind of fun as well. Like I don't even, hate that segue part. You got to do something with the humans sometimes. And at least they found kind of something fun and whatnot in there as well here. So you get Knuckles in here, you get finally a bald Jim Carrey. So I had a lot of fun with this one here, man. A worthy sequel to a surprisingly enjoyable series so far. I kind of want him for that third, but we'll see. Yeah, Nev Campbell's too busy with Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog. I think maybe this is my fault. Like I had expectations of this being on the level of the first one, um, and I don't know. Maybe I just expected too much and it fell flat a little bit. But I still really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to where they go with the relationship between Sonic and Knuckles because I think you know in that later part in the movie where they're becoming buddy and friends. Like I think that's hilarious, and I think
Spoiler number 14 by Jacob.
I don't. You know what? Spoilers. If I'm talking about a movie, I'm talking spoilers. So get ready. But I feel like most of my movies people have seen. I have a very basic top 10.
What's the next movie you want to talk about?
Yeah, my number 7 is going to be Robert Eggers' The Northmen. Yeah, no, this was one that I didn't have high expectations going in. But it's streaming on Peacock, and that's where I watched it, and I was glad I did. It's a great period piece, set in the Viking era. Wonderful story about just this guy who's kind of seeking revenge for his father. It's Alexander Skarsgård, right? Yeah, I can never get them right. There's so many of them. But it's Alexander Skarsgård. He comes back to the village.
Alexander, the daddy, the brothers.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Ethan Hawke's in this movie. Willem Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, fantastic performances all around. Anya Taylor-Joy gives a great performance in this. The action in this is incredible. The story is very intriguing, and it keeps you. You're hooked from the moment that they start, and it's a just over 2 hours, about 2 hours 15, and you're with it every minute of the runtime. I think Robert Eggers really knows how to direct a movie, and I think he's going to be a big player for years to come. He has put out some quality, I think, and this is definitely up there in terms of quality. So if you haven't seen The Northman yet, highly recommend it. It's streaming on Peacock. Go watch it.
Well, you're right. I haven't seen it, and I see you recommend it, so I might have to go watch it. That was your number 7 coming in, and my
Yeah.
number 7 for me now. You're on the Peacock. Let's go back to Netflix here, and let me cough and then talk about the Adam Project. That's what I'm going to talk about here for number 7 here. Again, another I think surprising one that I really enjoyed here. You got of course Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, but when it's Rain Right, he's super charming as well. I love the young kid that you find out it grows up to be Ryan. The relationship with Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Garner, Zoe Saldana, just really stacked with a good cast here, an entertaining plot. Borrows a little bit from things you've seen before, but when it's done in one huge, nicely done pot, it works out. As you can see, it's from the director of Free Guy, who supposedly might do the next Deadpool because they really like working together here. You can see that it just gels well. Again, I walked in with kind of middling expectations, one of those kind of trailers that dropped very quickly before the movie itself came out, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a really worth ride here that kind of works on every level.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I started watching this. I had to quit about halfway through because I had to go somewhere or something, I think, and for whatever reason I just haven't turned the rest of it back on yet. If I'm being honest, I kind of don't like the kid. I don't know if that's supposed to. That's how it's
I
supposed to
like
be. I
him.
don't
I
know.
like the kid. I like the kid.
Like I don't know if you're not supposed to like him, but I'll finish it. I mean, if it's your number 7 and you're this high on it, I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll even I'll restart it, watch it start to finish, and
It's
who knows?
enjoyable. I
Maybe
like it. I like it. Good little tale here.
yeah, maybe it'll be on my year end list when we do this in January or whatever. But yeah, no, solid. Yeah, the
Way to
cast is
assume
solid
you'll be
too.
on that
So
episode, but okay.
you know I will. But yeah, no, good choice. Number 7. All right, my number. So that means I'm going to number 6. And my number 6 is a movie I knew nothing about, went in completely blind. That's a movie called After Yang. It stars Colin Farrell. Which spoilers, this is not the only time you will see Colin Farrell on this list.
Although the next time we see him, will we really see him?
Mm, um, this is a movie about a family who, a family of 3 who have an android named Yang, who is kind of an older brother to the daughter, whose name is Mika. I had to look that up again. And Yang has been with this family for pretty much most of Mika's life, and he starts to malfunction, and they find out that he has been recording memories, and so it's a really beautiful movie, and it's emotional. Like the emotion in this really hits you, and it's kind of a good message about what it means like to truly be human. Um, because there's this android, but he's displaying these human emotions. He's experiencing these human emotions, and it's just like I think that little blurb right there summed it up perfectly. I don't want to go too much into this one because I feel like this one has been highly underseen. Um, so I will just say that it is a beautiful movie. The music in this movie is fantastic. The little girl gives a great performance, one of the best child performances I've seen in quite some time. Yeah, beautiful movie, beautiful story, beautiful performances, just a beautiful all around. Like that's the best word I can use to describe this movie. It's just a beautiful film.
Very nice. Where'd you see this?
I bought it. I
Oh,
do
okay,
not
man.
believe it's streaming, but it is available on Blu-ray/DVD. Unfortunately, my Walmart did not carry the Blu-ray version, and I didn't want to wait for it to be delivered. So,
No, it looks good, man. I've been looking at that one myself here. I haven't seen it yet, so good to know you're that high on it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out. Coming to my number six here, you've talked about it a little bit. You said you didn't, you're new to the franchise. Well, I'm not new to the franchise. I've been in love with it since I was a kid. That's Scream 2022 version, however you want to say it, Scream 5. Um, yeah, it's been a while. Scream 4 kind of came out with a bit middling success, not a lot of money, not the best reviews, not horrible either. So, wasn't sure if we were ever gonna get this. We did, and I really dug it here, man. I thought it had a good cast here. It had a nice, you brought back the returning characters, the main three, of course, of David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Nev Campbell here. Everyone's good in it too, man. I think David Arquette kind of steals the show as far as the returning characters here. You mentioned before, the outcome of the character, which is something I figured they had to do. They had to pull that big trigger up finally. Like, all right, anyone can kind of go.
well, yeah,
um,
one of them had to.
but I also said that for Scream 4, and I was very wrong. So it's also it's a pretty bloody one too, man. Some of the characters go pretty gruesomely here. It might be one of the bloodiest screams you've seen yet here. You have the kind of an interesting, weird dynamic with the Skeet Ulrich character. I don't know if that totally worked for me here. And there's definitely moments of contrivancy and bad decision making. But overall, I think it's a really fun, good installment. It makes you ready for that next one here. I don't hate if Nev Campbell's not in it much or at all. We've had her for 6 movies or 5 movies rather. So the fact that if we go to a different character, I think will work out fine for me here. And it seems like we're getting some of the returning people as well. Melissa Barrera, and then what's my girl, the young girl who you see, of course, in the opening scene, Jenna Ortega, who has had quite a horrific year, but in a good way, popping up in the Foo Fighters movie, popping up in this, popping up in X. She's in the TV show You on Netflix. She's great, so I'm looking forward to anything she does. And supposedly we're gonna get Hayden Panettiere back, which I'm excited for. The best part of Scream 4, in my opinion. And yeah, I dug it. It's a good one. Another one you can find streaming as well if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah. All right. Break it into the top five. And at my number five, I have Nicolas Cage playing Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This movie was everything I wanted it to be. This movie absolutely delivered. Nicolas Cage and what's his name, Pedro Pascal, were great together. I think they had really great chemistry. It was Nicolas Cage being Nick Cage, and I think he really just leaned into that. Like it was like everything that us as fans were saying about him. He's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. I thought the story was great. The way it was kind of he it was a movie about a movie, and I always think that's interesting. Um, I think all the supporting characters were great. Tiffany Haddish, Neil Patrick Harris, in whatever screen time they had. Um, I love the twists and turns it takes. Because essentially Nicolas Cage starts working for the CIA, FBI, whatever it was. I believe it was CIA. And it's a lot of fun. If you just want to see Nick Cage being Nick Cage, this is the movie. Like this is for the fans, absolutely. So I'm on board with anything Nick Cage has done, sort of in the last 4 or 5 years. It can be as outlandish as possible, and Nick Cage is going to do his best and make it as entertaining as possible. And he absolutely delivered here. Um, so playing Nick Cage is my number 5.
Awesome stuff, man. Yeah, no argument here on this one. A lot of fun coming in at my number 5. Now I feel like I'm just gonna start piggybacking off of you again. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers comes in at my number 5. I had so much fun with this here. As you said, it's very much Mulaney and Sandberg playing, just another version of themselves to a degree. They're not really trying to play characters here, but it's so funny here. The dynamic and the world that they built, of these characters. You see the the candlestick from Beauty and the Beast and Ugly Sonic. They're all on, these Comic Cons and so many inside jokes, so many different pauses you got to make to catch all the different references here. Um, I thought it was so funny, man. I really was dug into this movie pretty much from the get go here. The world that they built. I love J.K. Simmons and his fight scene towards the end. I thought it was so unique and well done. I almost want to see a movie about his character at one point. I think it'd be great fun. Yeah, I had so much fun with this here. I had some expectations because I saw from the get go that it was directed also by Akiva Schaffer of Lonely Island. So I was like, okay, they probably have a little more say in this. It's not just them as voices. So yeah, I had a lot of fun here. I would definitely looking forward to returning to this world at some point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that they, kind of made fun of the fact that, oh yeah, that would just be too obvious. And then it turns out to be the obvious the obvious villain um of J.K. Simmons. I thought that was great. And shout out to Seth Rogen playing yeah, three different characters in this. Good on you.
Yeah, even the opening Seth Rogen joke of just his character. Are you looking at us? Yeah, he's got some funny stuff, and then of course the references to his whole kind of voice filmography is thrown in there.
Yeah. Um, Kind of making fun of the Polar Express eyes. The um, well, yes, Paddington 2 and The Unbearable Weight of Masters of Talent is the best double feature. I dare anyone to prove me wrong.
No argument here, man.
uh, Moving on to the number 4. My number 4 is the Apple TV original Cha Cha Real Smooth, directed by Cooper Rafe, who also wrote and stars in the movie alongside Dakota Johnson. Um, and Cooper Rafe plays an out of just graduated college. He plays a character named Andrew, who has recently moved back home with his parents, well, with his mom and stepdad, played by Leslie Mann. Stepdad played by Brad Garrett, who isn't in the movie a lot, but when he is on screen, like he delivers really well. He plays the stepdad really well. He doesn't Andrew. He doesn't really have a real job, so he gets recruited as a party starter. So he goes to a lot of bar mitzvahs and starts the party. Develops this friendship with Dakota Johnson, who has an autistic daughter, who, by the way, is actually an autistic actor, and she absolutely kills it in this role. I hope she gets more to do because she was fantastic. The script in this is great. Andrew and Dakota Johnson's character, I believe her name is, yes, Domino, develop this relationship, even though Domino is engaged, and it's um, nice. Yeah, biggest surprise of the year so far. Yeah, so it's just a wonderful movie. I don't want to go into this one as much either. I know I've spoiled movies. I've chosen not to spoil some movies. I want to not spoil the movies that I think have been underseen. I think this one is a little underseen. It's on Apple TV, who is the streaming service with the reigning Best Picture winner Coda. So I feel like they've been picking and choosing their movies pretty well. This one's great performances, great direction, overall solid movie. Um, So highly recommend it. Number 4, I don't see it falling out of my top 5 by the year's end, unless something absolutely blows me away. Like I think my top 4 are pretty set, but um, yeah. So Apple TV, check it out.
Good to know. I don't know why. I definitely have heard of the movie because it always makes me think of the song "Cha Cha" real smooth, yo, side to side.
Which
Uh,
which they do play in the movie. It's one of the
they
songs
must.
they
They
play at
have
the
to. I
party.
mean, I feel like I would write if they didn't, so they have to. But no, it's good to know. You, Chris, really like it, so definitely something I will bump
Yeah,
way up on my to get to list here.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been
It's a
definitely sitting on that one.
it's a wonderful script. I could see it, even though it's an early release. Like I could see it getting maybe a screenplay nomination come Oscar time. Like it's that good.
Well, again, piggybacking off of something you said earlier for number 4 here, we're going to that multiverse of madness, Doctor Strange, number 2. Uh, yeah, you kind of set the plate for this before here. You definitely have some horror elements here from Sam Raimi. So you kind of, I think you have a different kind of visual style than you've seen otherwise, which I thought was pretty cool here. Olsen's really good. You can nitpick some of the plot points from the TV show to here, but as far as just a really entertaining ride, this is a good example here. This is one that I found myself wanting to rewatch and going through the journey again, the good and the bad. And I thought it was an interesting take here. Um, yeah, a worthy different kind of sequel. I give Marvel credit for still kind of trying to find slightly different ways, to give us storytelling here. And it has its qualms. It's probably not going to be my top 5 Marvels of all time or even top 10. But as far as just an entertaining movie, it definitely hits it on every level for me here, man. You already mentioned the kind of crazy cameos that they were giving us, teasing us for maybe things we can see in the future, which I hope we do. So yeah, Doctor Strange coming in at number 4 for me.
Nice. So we have some things in common in our list, even if they're not the same placement. Um, but I mentioned it. I mentioned that we would see Colin Farrell again, and we kind of do. You don't know that
Yep.
it's him until you read the credits and you see that it's him. Um, but it's the Batman with Robert Pattinson in the lead role, and I think Robert Pattinson was the absolute right choice for this iteration of Batman. Um, I loved it. I think going the detective route was a really smart choice because I think it's something different than we've gotten in previous Batman movies. It's been more about just the him as a superhero and fighting the bad guys and in this movie we kind of see him doing the detective work. We don't see him outside of the suit a lot, which I think is an interesting choice. We don't see a lot of Bruce Wayne. We see a lot of Batman, and I thought it was a really smart choice. I love Paul Dano as the Riddler. Oh my goodness! I wish superhero movies got more love when it came to awards consideration because I think Paul Dano absolutely killed it in this role. He is creepy. He is menacing. And like I think he is just amazing. Colin Farrell, like you don't know, like if you went into this movie completely blind, if you were new to movies, because obviously everyone and their mother knew about the Batman leading up to the release of it. If you went into this completely blind, not knowing anything, you would not know that that's Colin Farrell. I think the makeup work on that was really good. Even the voice work that he did, like he was just amazing in that role. I hope we see him come back um, as the Penguin because I think he absolutely delivered. I'm ready for a sequel. I'm ready for this type of Batman story to continue. We got the post credit scene and even kind of the continuation of that released after the movie came out with the Joker. I know that I hear the criticisms, I hear the complaints about we've seen enough Joker, but I feel like you can't do any iteration of Batman without a Joker story at least once. And I think the version of the Joker that we're getting is absolutely creepy and terrifying, and I am here for it. So I cannot hear you.
I didn't want you to hear me. I was just singing the Batman theme song. Very nice. So coming in at my number 3, you haven't talked about it yet, but just because we've talked a little bit before on this channel, I know you will talk about it. So I'll get to it first. I'm gonna go with Hustle coming in at my number 3, relatively recent Adam Sandler movie on Netflix. Which hold on, folks. I know the words you said recent Adam Sandler movie on Netflix, and I'm saying it's in my top 10 of the year so far. Hold on, don't jump out of your seats. If you haven't seen it, it's
Mhm.
actually quite good. You know how you know it's good? None of his friends are in it. That's how you know it's good. There's no Schneider, there's no Spade. You even get Ben Foster and Robert Duvall. What more do you want? Queen Latifah, we got her. No, anywho, so yes, Hustler came out. I've always loved when Sandler steps out of his, I guess you could say, comfort zone. We all know he can be a funny guy, whether or not you like his recent movies or not. I grew up in the '90s, so I'm kind of a ride or die, if you will, Sandler guy. And I enjoyed the trailer here, and I thought this movie absolutely worked. I love it. I love the story of him trying to find this kid, convince the kid. There's a funny, great scene here of him actually trying to convince him to do it. The trials and tribulations, of being held down away from his family. I just thought this movie absolutely worked. Really held my attention here. Well shot too, and you could tell there was a love of the game here. And again, even though I'm not a sports guy, I can definitely fall for love and the love of the game. And at the very end, there's a big montage of all the different players that were in this, and everyone is a player pretty much for the most part, except for the actors I mentioned here. There's a big antagonist character here who messes with him on the court. He's evidently a really good baseball player or basketball player. That you see him, the guy who I'm referring to right now. The main character that he recruits is a real life, truly talented guy. You can probably speak more on that yourself here in a little bit. But yeah, I thought Hustle was a really great flick here. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm hoping, again, we're talking, it's a little early, but come on, Academy. You're screwing him at Punch Drunk Love. You're screwing him at Uncut Gems. Give my boy Sandler some love. Give him that nomination.
Yes, I will talk about this movie a little later, which I guess is spoiling things a little bit because coming in at my number 2 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Um, we've gotten 3 different sort of multiverse movies. This Doctor Strange, Beavis and Butthead, which just missed out on the honorable mentions, by the way. Check it out on Paramount if you haven't yet. It's worth the watch. It's nice seeing Beavis and Butthead back on the screen. But I think this is the best multiverse movie of the year so far. It's a very interesting take on it, full of great performances. Jamie Lee Curtis, absolutely wonderful. The action scenes, the just the way it's shot, the script, just everything about this movie. There's a fight scene with a fanny pack, and last year my favorite fight scene was the bus scene from Shang-Chi, and I was super high on that fight scene. I thought it was really great. I might be even higher on the fanny pack scene. Like, it was really good. It was a lot of fun. Just the journey that we go on. With I'm gonna screw up her name. I always do. Evelyn. I'm not good with character names apparently. Um, the journey that we go on. It's a good family movie. It's a good action movie. There's comedy to it. Um, and just the way that Michelle Yeoh should be best actress, absolutely. I have to see the guy who plays Waymond. He was in Indiana Jones. Like, he is fantastic. He's been away from acting for quite some time, and he returned for this, and it's like he didn't even miss a beat. Like, you kind of see right there. And so even though they're all playing the same character, but they're playing different versions of that character, and like they just excel so well at all of them. There's a scene in the movie where it's just two rocks. There's no dialogue. There's just subtitles on the screen, but it's captivating. Like right there, you kind of see it, and it's oh my goodness! Like this movie, it came out of nowhere. A24 killed it again. I really hope this one's not forgotten come Oscar season because it deserves all the love and more. It's currently number 10 on Letterboxd official top 250. Um, so yeah, it's rated pretty highly. It's currently sitting at a 4.5 out of 5. Um, it's up there with The Godfather, Godfather 2, Parasite. Like it's just excellent. I'm so glad I didn't wait on that one and I got to it as soon as I could because man, I know we made fun of Jordan for having Jurassic World and Top Gun Maverick in his top movies of all time, but I could see this one and probably another one I'm about to talk about shoot up there pretty quickly upon rewatches because fantastic. Everything you've heard about this movie is true.
Very nice, very nice. Coming in now, my number two. Um, Going back to a little town called Gotham City. The Batman. Again, you set the stage before here. Really dark, muddy Gotham City, one of the darkest versions we've ever seen of it yet. Here, I really enjoyed Dano's the Riddler. I enjoyed the way he set up. Long movie takes its time. Directed by Matt Reeves, so I thought made some great Apes movies recently. I was excited to hear he was at the helm, and yeah, I'm a big hater of Twilight. I think they are truly badly written movies. But Robert Pattinson, I think, has truly shown the last few years that he's a tremendous actor here. So I was totally down for him. Everyone here, he's mentioned Colin Farrell kind of disappearing here. Zoe Saldana is absolutely wonderful. I think it's Catwoman. I enjoyed their relationship here, the way they kind of built that up. Again, a little different than we've ever seen with a Catwoman, and we've had 3 Catwomen so far, with Batman, not including Halle Berry, of course. Even John Turturro here. Yeah, just I enjoyed the world building here and little things I could have done a little bit maybe more of Alfred and his relationship here, but and like you said, not a lot of Bruce Wayne. Not that that's even necessarily a bad thing. It's very much a
Oh,
Batman story here, and like I said, I was really enthralled in this world, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is making me very ready to return to this world when we get that next Batman installment. I want more Pattinson. I want to see where they go with this world here. Yeah, I want to re-enter this world. I want to spend more time in it. So, and that's what you want in a movie that's obviously hoping to set up sequels here. I'm optimistic about the Joker part simply because I trust the filmmaker so far. You gave me a good first movie. I'll give faith. I'm not excited about another Joker, but I'll put my faith in you because I did really enjoy this one coming in at number two.
nice, nice. Yeah, you alluded to it earlier that I would talk about this movie. Um, and if you've seen the review that Jordan and I did, it's no surprise that my number one of the year is Hustle, which not only surprises me, um, but it surprises me immensely because it's an Adam Sandler movie, and I've made it known how I feel about Adam Sandler. I'm not the biggest fan of his movies. I think he's a funny guy. I love his stand-up comedy. I think he's great. I thought you'd think he was great in on Saturday Night Live. He's got some here and there that I like, but when he has the chance to do a dramatic role, he takes it, he runs with it, and he delivers. And I think he absolutely delivers here. I think this is the perfect role for Adam Sandler because not only is it a mix of drama with some comedy, but it's about a game that he loves. Like he absolutely loves basketball, and I think that's apparent in his performance. Like he loves the game, and I love the journey that we go on with Juancho Hernan Gomez as Bo Cruz, and kind of his journey as this street ball player from Spain coming to America and figuring out what it is to be an NBA draft prospect. Part of this might be my NBA bias. I absolutely love the NBA and love the game of basketball. I've been playing, and been watching the game for 24 years now. Since I was 8, I've been watching basketball, playing here and there. Kind of stopped playing in my later years because I'm old now and out of shape. But whatever. I think this is a great sports movie. Does it have some cliches in it? Yes. Do I care? No, because Adam Sandler delivers. All the NBA players in this movie deliver for being untrained actors. It's a great first performance from Hernan Gomez. Just the way he was able to deliver emotion. Like he cries at one point. You get tears out of him, and I think that's tough to do as an actor sometimes. I think the script was good. I think the cameos from all the NBA players were great. See right there, were great. So if you're a basketball fan, you are going to love this movie. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, you are going to love this movie. I agree with you. They snubbed him a couple times. Please don't do it again. So, number one, I don't see it falling out of that spot either. Like, I absolutely loved it. And for me to have an Adam Sandler movie as my number one, man, you gotta know that I have loved it.
Go to Adam Sandler. It's a great performance. I loved it as well. Coming in at my number one film of the year. Oh man, did I have so much fun with this one here. You did talk about it already. Unbearable weight of massive talent. Come on, man. What's better than a Nick Cage flick? Nick Cage as Nick Cage. I mean, I never enjoyed Pedro Pascal more either, too. Like I've liked him and whatnot, but like movies like First and he also made The Bubble this year with Apatow. I didn't like his character. Like every time he was on screen, I was kind of ready to move on to the next character here. But he is perfect as the fanboy who, at one point in the film, you kind of think might be a bad guy. You think he might be this drug dealer killer, and you're still
Mhm.
kind of like, but he's kind of nice and he seems well intended. And you're rooting for in your mind what you think might be a killer, and then you find out later on that, which I think you kind of worked for the script. They're like, okay, no, he's not really the bad guy, in the movie here, and yeah, I love the chemistry between them here. Again, I love the world that they had set up here, with Nick Cage kind of being down on himself, talking to himself, the fandom of movies of himself. Cage plays it just right, I feel here, with just the right amount of over the top when it needs to be over the top, and I loved this movie here. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, currently sitting at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, like I don't think I had more fun in a scene than I did when they were supposed to be climbing over the wall. Like how over the top that was. Uh and then you just find out, I guess we could have just gone around. Like it was
It works, man. Yeah, like a
so
simple
hilarious.
gag that probably wouldn't have been as funny if it wasn't for those two performances too. Like they add
Yeah.
to it. So good.
Yeah, so solid number one. Yeah, we had some crossovers in our list. It was a good list. It's been a good year for movies so far, I think.
Let me hear that list for you one more time, Jacob. What was
All
your
right.
top 10?
My top 10. Number 10, I had Marvel's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 9 was the nostalgia filled Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Number 8, Scream 5 or Scream 2022, whatever you want to call it. 7 was The Northmen. 6, After Yang. Number 5, Nick Cage playing Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Number 4 is Apple TV Plus original Cha Cha Real Smooth. Number 3 is The Batman. Number 2 is A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 1, the Netflix original starring Adam Sandler, Hustle.
Very nice, very nice. Sitting in my list currently here. At number 10, we had Death on the Nile. Number 9, Dog. 8, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Number 7, The Adam Project. Number 6, Scream. Number 5, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Number 4, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 3, Hustle. Number 2, The Batman. And number 1, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Nice list.
But yeah, I mean, so far not too shabby here. I'm interested in where things will fall at the end of the year. I could see my first half possibly sticking around. I feel like my top three, I think, is a good chance that it'll definitely still be there. Like I said, definitely some gaps, and not only gaps, but then of course we still have literally the half of the rest of the year as far as releases.
Yeah, 6
Who knows
months.
where that will stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, as we both said, Chris at the top, that is a gap from both of us here. So neither one of us are saying we don't like it. We're just
Just
saying
haven't seen it.
simply we didn't get to it yet. Yeah,
Not yet.
wasn't one that was super high for me. I had no love for the first one. I had no anything for the first one.
I haven't seen the first one.
It's fine. I feel like I know this is just a guessing from me. I feel like you might be in the same boat as like really if you didn't grow up on it, and you're not an '80s dude. I think you'll think it's just fine.
Yeah.
Maybe watch it. I think simply just to have some backstory of some of the characters you're going to meet in the second.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about the sequel. So
Yeah, that was another fallout with the I mentioned her before, Jenna Ortega, another movie she's in HBO Max. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That's one of those ones where I think I've been close to clicking on it more than once and then gone, I think I'm gonna watch something a little more uplifting, which could be almost any movie because that is some tough subject matter. But I have heard good things about it, which again continues to show also that she is a very well-rounded actress as well. So shout out to her. Looking forward to more things from her. Looking forward to
yeah.
more things from the year, both on this channel. We'll do some more countdowns. Try to get one out every week here. You'll definitely see Jacob popping up on here with some countdowns, some reviews, some trivia. Your current picks and list champion over here.
That's me.
Any other plugs or parting words there, Jacob the Barber Beefcake?
Yeah, sure. Plugs. Join us tomorrow over on the Movie Hero Network where we talk about Money in the Bank and our favorite matches of the year so far. So yeah, a double dose of we did our favorite movies of the year so far. We're gonna do our favorite wrestling matches of the year so far. So check us out tomorrow. The Lonely Marks, Jordan, myself, and Richie Goodacre. And yeah, as soon as Jordan gets the trivia up and going, I will be defending that picks and list champion against most comers.
Yeah, would you be most likely we'll be back. Take a shot. Most likely we will be back next week. So yes, stay tuned very soon here. While we're getting things set up. I'm playing around with different backgrounds. I feel like I'm in some sort of like nail salon. It looks like right now.
What you like?
Whoa.
You want pedicure or manicure?
And we've been canceled. All right. And as Chris said too, we got Thor coming out this weekend, so maybe we'll do a Thor review down the line, and who knows where that will stand too. I love me some Ragnarok,
Been
and
hearing
so I am
mixed
looking forward
things,
to it.
so
Oh, I haven't. Ooh, you shut your two little pretty lips. I
I'm
have I've
curious
been
to see which
clear
side
on
I
getting.
fall on.
Oh, I didn't hear what you just said. I don't want to hear what he just said. But yes, follow this man on all his endeavors. Lonely Marks live in the Movie Hero Network. Follow this, of course. As we said, we'll be back here on this channel a lot more in the next few weeks and months and years, or maybe two more shows, and then we'll never do another one again. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy.